quarterback situation there is also, in very different ways, interesting. We all saw it 5 times on Monday Night Football. The Eagles lost their 3rd straight. I want to give you just a little taste of what it sounds like on Sports Talk Radio in Philadelphia, just so you get an idea of what the feeling is like in town.
The Eagles have a quarterback problem. For the first time in 5 years, I'm saying that sentence. I haven't said that since 2020. The Philadelphia Eagles have a quarterback problem. Jalen Hurts last night played the worst football game I've ever seen him play. That was a disgusting football game by the quarterback.
Could we stop lying to ourselves and realize that the quarterback is the problem with this offense? And I am tired of hearing the excuses. I'm tired of hearing about, oh, he plays the best and biggest games. And the bottom line is the quarterback has sucked for the last 5 games, and you cannot win in spite of your quarterback.
So I play that because I wanted to give everyone a sense of what it sounds like in town. This is the okay. Here's the only thing. All of that, fine. Is it perhaps overdone and all that stuff? Perhaps. But here's the question: are they right? Right now, I'm not questioning anything Jalen Hurts has done. I'm talking about what he's doing right now as you watch them play. Is the problem in Philadelphia the quarterback, Lewis?
He's part of the problem. Okay, look, I think when they're looking at this, all right, they're watching the games, they're seeing the interceptions, they're seeing the offense stall out, they're seeing him not deliver big plays more so than costly turnovers, and then they're looking at statistics like this. Past 5 games, total QBR for Jalen Hurts, 39, 26.7, 53.2, 18.3, 27.3. That's on a scale of 0 to 100. That's not good. Then you start peeling back the onion a little bit and start trying to look at this offense. Is there a problem with the schematics as far as like the route trees that you see and the spacing that you see in this passing game? Absolutely. Why do they not put him under center more? Why do they have him operating under the gun, out of the gun as much as he does? That's a great question. When you look at the wide receivers as far as their ability to create separation, consistently catch the football, is that a problem? Absolutely. When you look at the running game inconsistencies and the fact that he isn't able to lean on that the same way as he has been in the past, absolutely. Now, is his accuracy, his decision-making, has that been a problem? Absolutely it is. But here's the thing. It's a number of different things. It's not just over the past 5 games, Jalen Hurts has sucked, and that's it. That is not the issue. That's what a lot of times sports radio dumbs this down to. Right. But we know that's not the case. Is he part of the problem? Of course. We all know that football is a very interconnected game. We know that. But we love to find someone to make the villain. He's the villain right now.
Can I just say, if A.J. Brown had caught a couple passes, I don't think we're having the same conversation. Like that game, we could have been talking about them. Wow, when they get A.J. Brown involved, look how great they look. Saquon Barkley's back. Like Jalen made some clutch plays. I just think Jalen's the issue, the head coach, the OC, the line, everything, the defense that one game, but otherwise the defense has carried them. There are so many issues on this football team, and the fact that they are talking about coming into that game, we still need to find our offensive identity in December, is a head coaching problem because we shouldn't be here.
That is, and just to finish up what you were saying, and Jeff, I'll give it to you on this. When things go well, the quarterbacks tend to get a disproportionate level of the credit. Sure. And when things go badly, perhaps then it is reasonable they get a disproportionate level of the blame. Maybe that's how I would respond to what Lewis said. Jeff, what is your take?
And I fully agree. And I think what Lewis is saying and what Kmart is saying are facts. There is a lot of blame to go around in Philly. And I'm just going to say, my team, I will gladly raise both hands to bring Jalen Hurts to my team. Yeah. We'll go win a lot of games with Shane Steichen and Jalen Hurts. You think what you have is a problem, you got no problems, or you got Cadillac problems. The bottom line is Nick Sirianni and the entire Eagles organization changed their philosophy of how they're going to win games. And they listened to everyone else instead of what they had to, because it's boring. They got a guy complaining he's not getting enough touches. Guess what? A.J. Brown, most targeted guy over the last 4 games. How many games they won? They lost 3 in a row, fellas. I don't care about all the noise that has been made in Philly. They had a style of winning. What that was, allow our defense to play good. We may only score 10. We may score 14. Everybody's like, oh, you can't win that way. They did. They beat Green Bay that way, who's a really freaking good team.
Yeah.
They beat
Detroit and the Rams and Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
They beat the good teams.
Yeah.
Here is the problem. You start listening to all the fans, you're going to be a fan. And that's what's happening in Philly. Because all those guys are going to get paid either way on that radio station.
Well, that's the thing.
It ain't on Jalen Hurts all the way.
I appreciate that, and I think editorially at home you might say, oh, that's low-hanging fruit going to the local foot. But that's the world they live in. I
Yeah.
think it's fair, and I think editorially it's smart to listen to that clip of Joe Giglio and Tom Kelly, because that's the voices that have authority in that fan base, and they listen to that, and then it circles and it swirls. I mean, I don't know if you saw last week, it was a small little tweet in the locker room, but like they brought the positivity bunny in the locker room.
that
Did
was
you see
a bad.
this?
Yeah, that
Take a look. This was in the Eagles locker room. I didn't Photoshop this. They're trying to put levity into the room because it is so negative there right now. And yes, we here in New York City at this table in our suits and our dresses, we could say, look at the record, they're fine, everything should be okay. We wish we had that problem. In Philly, it's different. The expectation is different, and the quarterback position has always been treated differently in that city. Just ask Carson Wentz or Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, you know what? See, there's obviously things that happen within the walls of an organization that really you can't quantify on the football field.
Yeah.
There's a lot of relationships. There's a lot of people trying to get along. There's a lot of trying to massage people's egos, trying to make sure people stay locked in, stay zeroed in, both as players, both as coaches. You know, you've got general managers, you've got front office people who are all going, hey, look, sometimes it's more than just about winning. It's about winning a certain way. And the only thing I would caution against is this. Hey, look, this isn't college football now.
Amen.
This isn't, there aren't people voting on whether or not you're ranked above another team. And you better value just winning the game instead of making sure that you're kind of massaging people's egos. Because if you start doing that, as you said, you can start getting away from who you are. And next thing you know, you're mired in a losing streak and you're sitting there going, what the hell just happened?
You watched the difference last year.
Yeah.
You got a guy reading the same guy was reading a book on the sideline.
Yeah.
They go on and win the Super Bowl. At some point, you have to place winning above all. And the way you win is irrelevant. And that's the problem in how we want to look pretty. And I've heard you say it.
Yeah.
It's an ugly way to win. Winning is keeping everybody's job.
More reading, less throwing. Perhaps that's our solution in Philadelphia.
All right, new on SportsCenter. Field Yates mocks the 2026 NFL Draft. Field has some excitement at the top of the draft, mocking the Jets to trade 3 picks, including 2 first-rounders, to the Giants to move up 1 spot and draft odds-on Heisman favorite Indiana QB Fernando Mendoza. Right after Mendoza, Raiders select Oregon QB Dante Moore, 2nd overall. The Raiders have not drafted a quarterback in the first round since an infamous selection of Jamarcus Russell with the 1st overall pick in 2007. Going 3rd to the Tennessee Titans is Ohio State edge rusher Arvell Reese, who has 6.5 sacks and 10 tackles for loss this season. The Titans haven't used their top 10 pick on a defensive player since drafting Adam Jones at 6th overall in 2005. All right, so the Jets, here's a look at Field Yates' top 10 picks in the 2026 NFL mock draft. The Browns will use one of their 2 first-round picks on Buck.